and welcome back to the e-video course, Teacher's Toolbox from FortinLanguageHouse.com. I'm Catherine Fortin, and today I'm going to talk to you about comprehensible input. Comprehensible input, boy, that sure is a long, big word for something as understandable as target language that your students understand. Now, you're all set up to use those immersion techniques. You've got your sign, you're ready to flip from English to Spanish or English to French, Mandarin, German. You've got your clipboard ready, you're ready to take notes, give participation points. So now this is the next crucial step. You've got to use comprehensible input so that your students can understand what you're saying and what you're teaching. Comprehensible input is the target language that is understandable to your students. We recommend that most of the target language you give your students to listen to or to read or to look at is 80% comprehensible to them. This way, they can not only understand it at 80% comprehensibility, but they can practice in their minds and use what we call their own target language word banks over and over again, which they really need to do. Now, what is comprehensible input? Well, sometimes it's easier to talk about what it's not. And comprehensible input is not rapid-fire, native-paced target language that your students don't understand, heavy accented dialect, target language full of idioms and colloquialisms, or abbreviated target language in conversations, emails, and texts that just don't have enough clues for the students to understand. Our job as foreign language teachers is not only to use the language as much as we can, but to present it with high comprehensibility to our students. Now, how do you go about doing this as a teacher? Well, we're all given materials and we're all given curriculum, and it's up to you to decide what your students can understand. And what you can do is shelter or control target language inputs. What do we mean by this? Sheltering or controlling target language inputs really means simplifying a reading or a CD listening activity or even a song or a video into target language that the students understand. And the best thing really for me at this point is to show you some examples of what I've done over the years. You can see right behind me, not very clearly, are a couple of posters, and they chronicle the Peruvian conquest by the Spanish explorers. I took a social studies book from the 5th and 6th grade team of social studies teachers, and I not only translated the very, very basic story into Spanish, but I simplified it. If you could really see the posters, you'd see that most sentences are about 4, maybe 5 words long. There's some pictures and even a map of Peru, and lots of dates. And the students really understood this, and it made the Peruvian conquest in Spanish comprehensible to beginners. Now, what else can you do? You can use something as simple as a poster. I was talking about La Cultura to 1 grade level of students, and not only did I use pictures, but I put tags. The La Comida, El Arte, El Baile, La Artesanía, La Música. Most of us as teachers are given these textbooks, and often the textbook is very dry and not interesting to students. That doesn't make the target language very understandable or engaging to them. What you can do is go to the back of the chapter of any of the textbooks, and you can recreate your own readings, stories, situations that are a lot more understandable to the student because you're using simple target language, or they're a lot more engaging if you bring students' names into the stories. They really love that personalization. You can also use magazines. Fantastic for pictures and titles, and you can rewrite a magazine passage and copy it, cut and paste it, and the students will really comprehend it so much more. Storybooks. Even something as simple as this, La Primera Navidad, the Spot's First Christmas, we ended up sheltering or simplifying so that the students can understand it. Something like this, La Nieve de Sueños, and you'll find even that those high school students love going back to childhood and looking at storybooks. So, how do you devote the time to comprehensible input? Well, it is the most time and the most work you will do as a teacher. And Diane and I recommend that when people start taking their content, either their textbook or the materials they're given, even a list sometimes, that you take one thing at a time so you're not overwhelmed, rewrite it, retool it completely in the target language in very simple terms. For novice learners, 3 and 4 word sentences are best. As your learners advance and go up into the continuum, maybe in high school, into the intermediate range, You can certainly expand your sentences and use compound verb phrases, but again, your goal is to make what the students read or what they listen to 80% comprehensible. And it's this repetition of comprehensible input for the students that really helps them soak in the target language. If the inputs, the reading and the listening, are not comprehensible, your class really has a hard time staying in the language, and all those great immersion techniques that you've learned and you're trying really won't work as well. So what Diane and I recommend is a recipe of equal parts immersion techniques and equal parts comprehensible input. Comprehensible input is such a big topic, and I can't cover it all in one 5-minute video, but if you have any questions, please let me know. It is about rewriting a lot of the curriculum and materials you've been given into much simpler Spanish, French, Chinese, or German. And that's a lot of work, but it will be so worth it in the end when you see your students staying in the language with those new comprehensible inputs and your immersion techniques. Please feel free to email us with any questions or comments at foreignlanguage